Welcome you to our special series, The Year Ahead 2025. The topic for tonight's discussion is infrastructure. Now, this year, Singapore will showcase land use proposals to guide its development for the next 10 to 15 years. Now, the URA Draft Masterplan 2025 seeks to strengthen Singapore's economic gateways with key employment nodes and infrastructure improvement. My colleague Ateli Edwards takes a closer look at plans for the country's business ecosystem.
The Eastern Gateway will be the central hub for Singapore's global connectivity. Once fully operational, Changi Airport's Terminal 5 will add capacity for 50 million more passengers per year. Now, that's on top of the existing capacity of 90 million. It will also be supported by the nearby Changi Aviation Park and Changi City. Over at Singapore's downtown, plans to inject new leisure experiences are in the works, and that includes a new look for Raffles Place Park, a wellness attraction at Marina South, and new homes around Tanjung Pagar. Moving to the west, the Western Gateway is home to industries with strong dependence to Tuas Port. When ready in the 2040s, the port is set to be the world's largest fully automated container port. New housing and access to world-class talent will support the area's transformation. And up in the north, high-value manufacturing and general industries will anchor the Northern Gateway as a key commercial centre. And at the same time, the Johor Bahru-Singapore Rapid Transit System link will improve cross-border connectivity to Johor Bahru from end 2026. Together, these developments reinforce the country's status as a global economic hub and a nexus for international and regional trade.
Well, lots in store, but it's not just about developing Singapore's economic gateways. The Urban Redevelopment Authority is also getting ideas and perspectives on other land use plans. Now, these range from national initiatives to projects within neighbourhoods. For example, engagements are ongoing for Singapore's Long Island, a solution to protect the East Coast and enhance Singapore's flood and water resilience. Another initiative is a competition to gather new ideas to reimagine and transform Jurong Bird Park as well as Jurong Hill. Similar engagements were also held last year with competitions and exhibitions to seek ideas and perspectives for areas like Turf City and the Rail Corridor. Well, we have heard what's in store for the future, but how have Singapore's development goals changed over the past decade? Well, we've got more. We're joined by Professor Sing Tian Fu, Provost's Chair Professor of the Department of Real Estate at NUS Business School. Prof. Sing, I want to thank you so much for coming into the studio today. First of all, we have quite a master plan, which we last took in 2019. What are we now? 2025?
Right.
From then to now, what are the changes that you have noticed, and also how have the priorities shifted? Give us some specific examples if you could.
All right. I think the broad strategy remains the same, where we have a ring concept. We have a CBD, downtown CBD, together with the regional centre. Now they call it Eastern Gateway, Western Gateway, and Northern Gateway. I think after pandemic, I think the planning strategy also have shifted a little bit. In the past, I think we look at a lot of these hard target, trying to achieve certain number of houses, office space, and so on. Now the emphasis is a lot more on urban resilience. I think we continue to face these three challenges: the land scarcity, urban climate changes, or urban uncertainty, and also the demographic shift. I think to plan for this long-term kind of strategy, I think urban resilience and the most resilient and flexible planning are important, especially when you look at before pandemic 2019 and after pandemics. I think a lot of things have changed in the way we live, play and work. And especially a house, I think a lot more space need to be mixed use now. And now you have a living space, and sometimes you work from home. You need to have space for zooming and doing some business work as well. And then even in the office space, we also see the changes in the way people work because of hybrid work arrangement. I think a lot more company are adopting what we call the hot desking or flexible workspace. All this actually will have some impact on how we're going to plan our central areas and also our regional centres.
You know, these shifting priorities that you've just mentioned are probably in response to some of the challenges that Singapore may face when it comes to planning over the next decade. You mentioned some that we are already facing, like resilience. What are the challenges that you expect will come in the next 10 years, and what are they specifically?
Right. I think before, since independence, we actually experienced a very rapid and also explosive kind of growth. I think moving forward, it's a bit difficult to maintain the same level of growth, whether it's urban redevelopments or economic growth. I think in the next 10 years or even next 50 years, a lot of emphasis has to put a lot more on the soft touch into it, because I think after you achieve the development kind of goal, you may want to actually emphasize a lot on sustainability, inclusivity, and also the environments. I think one of the project, the Long Island project, is one of the planning strategy. We are not looking just for next 10 years, 20 years. In fact, we are looking at next 100 years when the sea level rising to 2 meter highs. So how do you deal with this rising sea level kind of threat? So I think the Long Islands actually is one strategy to actually help to sort of mitigate or adapt this kind of climate resilience kind of issue.
I think one of the features that pricked a lot of people's ears is the new residential neighborhoods in more central regions that are going to be part of the draft master plan 2025 priorities. That's going to be very, very interesting in how it affects property prices, isn't it?
Yeah, I think in the past, when we look at the downtown or CBD areas, it's simply a mono-use kind of development. You only have commercial use, office space, even retail activities. But I think now with the new planning here, you're trying to bring back more life and bring back more residential and mixed-use development. I think this is actually in line with this world-class city, where we see not our central area is not just a place to work, and then after the work it becomes empty out. Now people also bring back activities. You also bring people back to the CBD area. Can actually transform the area to a more vibrant world-class city like New York, London, and some of the big cities.
But it will be more expensive,
right? I think government also actually trying to make it more inclusive, because through the new housing classification, where they actually bring HDB even back into the prime area, this also allowed some affordable housing to be built there.
Right. So this will play into the equation and allow a wider, price range in that sense.
Now,
speaking.